Okay, so today's question is I have selected the third part, right? So here you have the question, explain 3 steps that should be followed to minimize poverty within a community. So you can gain 12 marks from this question, right? So here, first thing what you have to do, you have to read the question carefully. So what is happening? Explain 3 steps that should be followed to minimize poverty within a community. So here you have to understand, you have to write 3 steps. Okay, so also to minimize poverty within a community. So that is the point. You have to write 3 steps to which we can use to minimize poverty within a community. So first you have to understand the question carefully, and after that one you can make a simple plan to do your answering. In order to answer the question, first you have to plan that one. What is the first point that I am going to write? What is the second point that I am going to write? What is the third point? So like that way, what you have to do, you have to see what are the things that I need to do. So actually I have selected some of them. I'll explain this one with the marking scheme in the next session. So let's see some of examples which you can use for this. So first, as I mentioned before, you have to write a small description. So here it has mentioned, to effectively minimize poverty within a community, a structural and sustainable approach must be adopted rather than relying solely on temporary relief. So 3 critical steps include, so here like that way you have to enter to the question through this kind of description. Okay, so introduction, 2-3 lines are enough for that purpose. Then you have the first point, second point and third point separately. So if you can write those 3 points in the beginning, and after that one you can separately write, or else you can separately write at once. So here you can see first point has been written, and also a description is there, and also a suitable example. So what you have to do, you have to remember these examples. Actually I am doing this one in order to give you the full understanding about how you can find examples, and you have to collect those examples in a short note or else in a small book, right? So then when you are answering questions you can use them. So here the example is enhancing access to quality education and skill development. We have to develop this kind of education and skills in order to minimize poverty within a certain community. So what we can do, we can develop the skills of the people through different programs. So what are those projects, what are those things in Sri Lanka? So here you can see Aspasuma, right? So this is a good example. Actually you can use that one, right? And also here you have another institution that is NITA. So right, National Apprentice and Institutional Training Authority. So you can remember those names, right? It is okay, you have the freedom to write those names in the answers in the examination also. So what you have to do, you have to remember those things, NITA, VTA, like that way you have to remember. So in there, through those programs, they try to give the basic education, sorry, not the basic education, actually basic education for the fields, different fields. And also they try to develop the skills of the people through these things, right? So you can remember those things, those kind of training programs for youth, right? So in order to make the profits through different fields, through different jobs, right? So they try to do this one through these projects. Okay, so you can, and also different organizations, right? So you can remember these things in order to answer to these kind of questions. Then the second one, it says financial inclusion. So here you can see some other examples also. Here what you have to do, so in order to this kind of minimize this kind of poverty, we need this kind of financial balance, no? So in order to do that one, they have introduced Samurdhi banking societies, right? So here you can remember this example, Samurdhi banking societies and various women's cooperative banks like the Kanta Samiti networks, right, in rural areas. So here you can remember these things. When you are answering, you can use them. Okay, so yes, that is it. Then here you can see some businesses that they have introduced to the people, to the women who live in those kind of rural areas. So here you can see what are those things: mushroom cultivation, pottery, and small scale tailoring. So like that way you can see how they have introduced these kind of job or else business opportunities. Actually they are home based businesses. You can remember those things also, and if they are asking about this concept, you can use them. Okay, the third one, it says marketing connectivity. So here you can see how they have linked. Actually now as I mentioned before, what they have done in order to minimize the poverty, they have introduced different programs to develop the skills or else to give the education, basic education in different fields. After that, what they have done, they have given the financial things. So in order to start a business, a small house based home based business, they have given those kind of financial opportunities. And after that one, what they are doing, they are making the market, right? So they are making that place to sell those products which has made through those small businesses. Okay, so here that is it. So you can see how they have given the examples for here. So they have developed these economic centers, right? So here you can see like the Dambulla, right? So economic center is there. So like that way there were different centers with rural road development projects. So here you can see combined with rural road development projects. And also here you can see when rural farmers in areas like Valimada or Anuradhapura are given accessible roads to transport their vegetables directly to their hubs, it drastically reduces post-harvested losses and increases their household income. So like that way, what you have to do, you have to introduce your example by taking the point, and also you have to explain that with the point. That means now here what is the point? Actually developing infrastructure and marketing connectivity, no? So what you have to do, you have to write the example and you have to build up a small introduction, small paragraph by using this concept, this point. So here they have mentioned the development of economic centers, like they have given the example also. What is that? Like Dambul dedicated income center combined with rural road development projects. When rural farmers in areas like Valimadu and Anuradhapura are given accessible roads to transport their vegetables directly to their hubs, it drastically reduces post-harvest losses and increases their household income. So like that way, what you have to do, you have to explain the example. Otherwise what will happen, you can't get full marks. Okay, so what you have to do in the examination, that is you have to read the question carefully and you have to understand that one. So if they are asking 2 points, you have to give those 2 points. If they are asking 3 or if they are asking 4, what you have to do, you have to provide those points. After that one, you can write the points separately and a description. Description also must be consist with 4-5 lines. Okay, so more than 5, that's okay, but if you can manage time, you can write more, but and also try to balance those things. That means now here think about, if you are writing for first point just a full page, okay, so after that one you are writing for the second one half, and the third one just a little bit, that means 2-3 lines with including this example also. So what will happen? Automatically your marks will be reduced because you have no any correct structure, because you have written so many paras, so many information with the first point and the second point, and in third point you have automatically you have reduced the content. So what will happen, they will never give total marks. So what you have to do, you have to balance that one, right? If you are writing 10 lines for first one, so second point also you need to write 10 or 9, it's okay. So for the third one also you have to write 10 or 9, okay? So like that way what you have to do, you have to balance, okay? So then you have to write the description and also a suitable example, and also you need to link that example with the content that you have provided before, okay? So that is the structure that you have to follow. So if you have this kind of structure in your answers, so you can gain total 12 marks in this kind of question. So these are the examples that I'm going to share with you with this question. So you can mark down those things and you can use those things when you need it. Thank you.